are watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Avasthi. Today on this edition, we get you the stories that set the agenda. First up, we start with the top story where 18 people have been killed and 11 have been injured. The question now arises on who exactly is responsible for the negligence that took place at Delhi railway station. And meanwhile, politics have already ensued over the same, with the opposition now questioning the government, pinning blame on the centre. Moving on, we will tell you the latest controversy over former CJI's interview to BBC and what the top jurist Harish Salve had to say in this regard. We'll also tell you the latest controversy over Congress MP Gogoi's wife and her Pakistani links, which the BJP has alleged and has asked the Congress MP to come out clean on it. Also on the show, second batch of deportees are back to India and we will get you their version on what they have to say. We will also get you the latest on the US aid funding on journalists, where reports suggest that nearly USD 22 million were given for voter turnout in India. Huge claims being made there. The 6 stories that we are tracking. But first up, we start with the first story, which is from the national capital now. A tragic stampede at the New Delhi railway station last Saturday evening left at least 18 people dead, with initial police investigation pointing to confusion between 2 similarly named trains at the cause of the disaster. Now, stampede turned which was meant to be a pilgrimage for many of the devotees which were travelling to Kumbh, turned into a night of devastation. According to Delhi police sources, the chaos erupted when passengers waiting for the Prayagraj Express at platform number 14 mistook an announcement about Prayagraj's special train arriving at platform number 16 for their own train, fearing there might miss a departure. Now, there are several questions that are being raised, and we'll take you through the timeline of the case, which explains you on what exactly took place on the tragic night of Saturday evening. There you see at around 9:30 p.m. This is what the timeline looks like. At around 9:30 p.m. is when the incident of stampede took place at platform number 14. Now remember, platform number 14 is where the exact case of the stampede. Now, when we talk about the other platforms, that is from where the devotees had rushed to the other platforms, keeping in mind that a wrong announcement was given according to sources. At around 9:55 p.m. is when 4 fire tenders had rushed to the site to ensure that the injured have been shifted to the hospital in a safe manner. At around 11:20 p.m. is when the Railway Ministry had issued a first statement. Now remember, there are different versions that we are getting to you. First, when the railway has said that it was just a rumor and that there was no stampede. However, later it was known that there was a stampede that took place in which many were injured, many had already lost their lives. Now, late at night is when the Director General of Police, RPF, also reached the police station. They took stock of the situation. But remember, this comes late at around midnight, when the stampede had actually happened. Now, while there are several discrepancies in the statements that the railways are giving, one thing that remains constant is the eyewitness listening to the narration, the ordeal that they had to face.
आपने हाशमी जी क्या देखा कल रात?
मैम, बहुत भयानक मंजर था। हमने अपनी ज़िंदगी में ऐसा भयानक मंजर नहीं देखा। हम 16 नंबर के बाहर काम कर रहे थे, रोज़ की तरह जैसे करते हैं। एकदम चीखने चिल्लाने की आवाज़ आई, रोने बिल्लाने की आवाज़ आई, बच्चे रो रहे थे, चीख रहे थे, चिल्ला रहे थे। हम लोग सारे कुली वहाँ से भागे। हम भागते हुए आए और आकर के हमने देखा तो कुछ बच्चे दबे हुए, कुछ औरतें दबी हुई हैं, बच्चे भाग रहे हैं, औरतें भाग रही हैं, लोग उसके ऊपर गिर रहे हैं। अब हम लेकर के उनको उठा करके लेकर के और बाहर भागे 16 नंबर के बाहर। एक औरत रो रही थी कि मेरी बच्ची मर गई, मेरी बच्ची मर गई। उस 4 साल बच्ची को लेकर के हम जब भागे तो 2 मिनट बाद देखा तो उसकी बच्ची को होश आ गया। मैम, वो रोने लग गई और डगरा उठी। वो मेरी बेटी जिंदा हो गई, मेरी बेटी जिंदा हो गई। बताइए आप ये अगर बेटी हो और बच्चा हो आपका और मर जाए, 1 मिनट के लिए वो मर जाए और दूसरी मिनट आपको खबर आप देखो कि आपका बेटा जिंदा है, आपकी बेटी जिंदा है, आपको कैसा महसूस होगा? मैम, उस माँ को देख कर हम फिर दोबारा भाग गए 14 नंबर की तरफ। फिर 2-3 बच्चों को बचाया हमने। बहुत खतरनाक मंजर था।
Extremely tragic news there that came into our newsroom last evening. Akhil, my colleague, is joining me live from the New Delhi railway station. Akhil, you have been reporting from the ground. The stampede that took place yesterday, what our viewers want to know is were any preemptive measures taken by the railway authorities, keeping in mind the surge that the railways would see when at a point in time when the devotees are rushing to Prayagraj for the Mahakumbh? Were there any barricading at place, and how many security personnel were deployed to ensure that no untoward incidents take place?
Well, Tanisha, if you see at that point in time when that incident took place, no one basically thought in that direction that this could go so wrong. This could go horribly wrong. Right now, you can see a barricading, a minor level barricading has been done over here, and this you can see. This is a slight rope has been put in place through which you can see that people have been told not to move outside this barricading. So at that point in time when that incident took place, there were no proper security measures being taken on the side of Delhi police, or if you see from the railway police as well. I was spoken to some senior officials in the Delhi police team. They said that it's the railway police who basically guard railway station. But if you see when that incident took place, railway police officials and the administration, if you talk about the railway administration of New Delhi railway station, they must be aware of that kind of situation, that large number of people have gathered at platform number 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16 on these 5 platforms. Because if you see when that announcement was being made that Prayagraj Express is at platform number 14 where I am standing currently right now, and another train of a similar name with a different initials, which is Prayagraj Special, was supposed to arrive at platform number 16. So people started rushing from this very side. Here you can see this is the various chairs, so where that incident took place. So people started to go towards my left side, which is the Ajmeri gate side. So people have already started moving from Paharganj side towards the Ajmeri gate side when that stampede broke out. Right now you can see the measurements have been taken today, and situation is pretty normal and calm. Here you can see people are coming over here, and at this point in time you can see paramilitary forces have also been deployed. Here you can see rapid action force is the CRPF unit is over here. And apart from that, what we have been witnessing since the morning, that cleanliness drive have been taking place back to back since the morning after the incident took place. And the situation over here is very calm. Back to you in the studio.
Right, Akhil. Thank you for getting all those details. Remains to be seen when will an FIR be launched in the case. Now, viewers, even after it's not even been 24 hours since the unfortunate stampede tragedy at the New Delhi railway station has passed, and the politics has already begun. The unfortunate crowding due to special trains for Mahakumbh led to the stampede. Now, RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav has called Mahakumbh useless, while other politicians are also jumping into the ring to take pot shots at the BJP, pinning the blame on the centre. Here's a report on that.
Less than 24 hours after the unfortunate tragedy at the New Delhi railway station, which led to a stampede that claimed 18 lives, politics over the incident has already begun. It all started last night when massive crowds gathered on the New Delhi railway station for boarding the Prayagraj Express. The sudden surge of passengers amid sources indicating last-moment change of platforms, over 1,500 general tickets issued at the last moment, are amongst various reasons being probed behind the tragedy. The Railways has ordered a high-level inquiry into the matter, but this did not stop the opposition leaders from politicizing the tragedy. In the most shocking manner, RJD Supremo and former Railways Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav blamed the Mahakumbh, calling it quote-unquote useless.
अरे सब कुंभ का क्या कोई मतलब है, फालतू है कुंभ। बहुत दुखद हुआ है, एकदम लापरवाही है कांग्रेस के। रेल मंत्री को इस्तीफा करना चाहिए, जिम्मेदारी लेना चाहिए। बहुत बड़ी हादसा हुआ।
कुंभ में भी भगदड़ हुआ था सर।
कुंभ में भी हुआ। कुंभ आस्था का जगह है, आस्था का जगह है, लोग जाते हैं।
दोषी कौन है सर?
दोषी गवर्नमेंट है, गवर्नमेंट को।
Not just that, AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi also called the entire tragedy a BJP cover-up. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi too called the entire tragedy a failure of the government and blamed the insensitivity of the administration. Aam Aadmi Party leader and former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi Manish Sisodia also entered the political arena with a jibe, calling the government Aapda Sarkar. Amidst this, Union Minister of Railways Ashwini Vaishnav is likely to chair a meeting at Rail Bhavan.
Moving on to the other stories that we are tracking, there is controversy over former CJI D.Y. Chandrachud's interview to BBC. Now, in the interview, he addressed several cases like the Ram Temple, Article 370 and CAA as well. He also dismissed claims of political pressure on courts. Now, former Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, has defended the Supreme Court's verdict upholding the abrogation of Article 370 of the Constitution, stating that it was a temporary and transitional provision meant to fade away. In the interview with the BBC, Justice Chandrachud emphasized that the Supreme Court acknowledged to elected government's decision to abrogate the provision, which was introduced in a transitional arrangement due to war condition in the state. Now, responding to the interview, top jurist Harish Salve slammed the former Chief Justice of India, saying that nobody has the right, especially a foreign nation, to question what happens in India and the decision that the Supreme Court takes. Here's that interview.
Former Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud, who's giving out a lot of interviews to BBC and other Western media outlets. It's been trending for the wrong reasons. What are we supposed to think of it when answers are not able to come out?
This raises issues of great moment. The Chief Justice of India is a part of the Supreme Court of India, and I don't think he should be speaking of what the court does, because it's not him, but the Supreme Court, which was actually on trial in that interview. We always say judges should only speak through their judgments. Take the Article 370. The judgments gave reasons why it upheld. You bring this up in a private interview and your motives for the judgment are questioned. All sorts of aspersions were cast. Also, when you sit in an interview like this, he was asked why he did not hear the Citizenship Amendment Act case. Who's a journalist to ask why our Supreme Court hears a case or doesn't hear a case? So, and what was the underlying suggestion? That the Supreme Court has lost its duty to the Constitution in holding the balance even between different castes and communities? So this is the complete danger of giving interviews on judicial work. You want to give interviews on administrative work, on how you've introduced technology, how you're working on improving the lot of the complete near defunct legal system and where there are staggering areas. Speak about that. Don't speak about judgments ever.
I think the larger picture that you said is when he spoke about this, the Supreme Court was on trial. It's not only this, sir. Every time there is any PIL that is filed that is asking for questioning the electoral voter turnout and other things, whether the EVMs are being questioned, to be answering to a foreign government is something that judges should possibly not be doing at this point.
Judges should speak through their judgments. And then we follow the discipline. We may criticize their judgments, we may discuss their judgments, we may tear into their judgments, but we don't discuss judges. What you've done is you put judges on trial, not judgments.
Sir, final words. When it comes to people who are now speaking out, judges who are speaking out, what about this lobby in the Supreme Court that was trying to intimidate the judges at one time and trying to bully them in a way of trying to hear some cases here or there?
See, this cut and thrust in the Supreme Court should remain inside the courtrooms and at worst gossiped about in the corridors of the Supreme Court, but not beyond. Don't take this seriously. Our judges are made of sterner stuff. They know how to deal with these people.
On that, I'm being joined by Aruna Shyam. He is a senior advocate. Thank you very much for speaking to Republic. Aruna, now It is a former Chief Justice of India who goes to another country, gives an interview to the BBC, and the state media there is actually questioning and asking questions about what happened in India, basically meddling into Indian affairs. How do you see this?
No, first and foremost thing is, I think judges should not speak for media. That is what the minimum requirement, it is settled. Another aspect is, a judge should not speak about his judgment, but the judgment should speak for a judge, or judgment itself should speak for the judgment. And here is a case where the foreign country is interviewing a retired judge, and they are trying to drag for controversy, and this should not have been happened.
Right, absolutely. Aruna Sham, what I also want to know from you is, do you feel that by doing this, they are allowing the foreign media to actually meddle into Indian affairs, likely said by the top jurist Harish Salve as well, that nobody has the right to question what judgments are taken in India, because ultimately the Supreme Court is the one which is put on trial and not the judges who had delivered the verdict?
Yes, the judge who delivered the judgment is irrelevant, and it is ultimately called the judgment of the Supreme Court or the High Court. Now, once the judgment is delivered by the Supreme Court, then it's a matter. Even judge also becomes functus officio. He cannot even comment on his own judgment. It may be wrong or it may be right, but it is a judgment of the Supreme Court. He himself should not go and talk about that judgment. That is the settled principle. And there are legal recourse available to protect or safeguard the interest of the judges.
Absolutely.
Then a judge is not expected to go and defend his judgment. And especially these foreign media, they are trying to drag and they are trying to create controversy by interviewing the retired judges, and this is how an unfortunate state of affair is happening.
Absolutely. Aruna Sham, thank you for speaking to Republic on that. Moving on to the other stories that we're tracking. Now, the controversy surrounding the wife of Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi ceases to exist. Now, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, who previously questioned the Congress MP's wife over her alleged ties to the highlighted tweets posted by her supervisor in Pakistan, is something that has raked up a debate. Now, this time BJP is time and again questioning the link of the Congress MP with Pakistan, and has come out and has told the Congress MP to come out clean on that. Here is a report.
So this big controversy about Gaurav Gogoi's wife, her Pakistan, the way she's getting into Pakistan, the entries of the Congress leaders, what is their deep desire, and what do these ties really expose?
I'm not, I don't want to comment on personal lives of politicians and their wives. All I'm saying is we have to be very careful that we, in our political battles which are fought in India, I mean, you fight for elections, you fight to be elected in office. The job of every, as Akhilesh Yadav, I think, rightly said, elections is all about winning. So that's fair enough on the battlefield of elections. You do whatever you have to do, you build whatever narrative you want to build. Narratives are always colorful. Not everybody takes narrative seriously, but that's all a part of the game. But to allow, and worse, to invite anybody from beyond our borders to help in the electoral process is the first step towards dismantling republichood, the first step towards dismantling our democracy.
Now, the 116 undocumented Indian migrants who were on board the US plane that landed at Punjab's Amritsar International Airport on Saturday night were handcuffed and changed during a travel as they were deported from the United States, as per one of the deportees. Talking to Republic in Hoshiarpur, one of the deportee asserted that on their way to Amritsar from the United States, the deportee were handcuffed with their legs chained in the aircraft. The second group of 116 Indian citizens were deported from the United States in an aircraft after the United States President Donald Trump recently started a crackdown on illegal immigrants. Here is what the deportee had to tell Republic.
हाँ जितेंद्र, कल आपको वापस डिपोर्ट किया गया, कब पता चला था कि आपको वापस डिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं?
हमें मतलब कि पहले कुछ नहीं बताया हमको, मतलब कि हथकड़ियाँ लगा के पैरों में बेड़ियाँ लगा के मतलब कि कैंप में ले जा गए, ठीक है। और हमें जब फ़्लाइट में बिठाया गया बस से उतार के, हमें तब इन्फॉर्म किया गया कि आपको इंडिया भेज रहे हैं। वो इंडिया का कोई भाई था, ट्रांसलेटर था, ऑफिसर था, यूएस आर्मी में था, और उन्हें हमें बताया कि आपको डिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, इंडिया भेज रहे हैं, आप कोई हरकत ना करना, कोई ऐसा शोर शराबा मत करना जिससे आपको दिक्कत हो, और आपको ये फाइनल बात है कि आपको इंडिया भेज रहे हैं।
ठीक है जितेंद्र, कब आप यहाँ से हिंदुस्तान से बाहर गए थे, किस रास्ते से गए थे, क्या किसी एजेंट के ज़रिए गए थे?
हाँ जी, मैं एजेंट के ज़रिए से गया था, और मैं जहाँ से 27 सितंबर को गया था, और मेरी जहाँ से बॉम्बे से मतलब कि गोवाना की फ़्लाइट थी। आगे से मेरा डोंकी का रूट स्टार्ट हो गया था, टैक्सी हो गया, पैदल हो गया, पनामा जंगल हो गया, मेरा आगे मतलब कि पैदल रूट था। बाय एयर मतलब कि एजेंट से बात हुई सी, 50 लाख रुपया था, और आगे मेरा टैक्सी रूट था, पैदल रूट था।
Moving on to the last story that we're tracking in this edition of 6 Stories at 6, a bombshell report from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has exposed the deep state's dirty game, a calculated plot to meddle in Indian elections. We have irrefutable proof. A staggering $21 million was funneled under the guise of voter turnout in India, a blatant attempt to manipulate our democracy. Here is a report on that.
In a bombshell revelation, the Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency has blown the lid of the deep state's covert meddling in Indian politics. The agency has revealed a shocking list of cancelled foreign funding, and amongst them, one jaw-dropping detail stands out. A staggering 21 million was funneled to manipulate voter turnout in India. But before this report even surfaced, Republic had already called it out.
USAID and CIA are two sides of the same coin. A cover, a decoy would probably be the appropriate word to use it, both controlled by the American deep state. Why am I talking about this in India? Am I obsessed with the Americans? Absolutely not. But when this USAID plus CIA puts in money into India as a financial tool for influence, I have to expose not just USAID plus CIA, but the people in India who have taken money from the CIA plus USAID. Now, those people would be very angry that I'm equating CIA plus USAID, but they need to know. And who am I talking about? Some really stupid YouTubers, not stupid, malicious, venomous, anti-India YouTubers, very happy to be taking money from the Americans as long as it looks like a USAID operation. But now that Republic has exposed that USAID is CIA, which means you're taking money from USAID, you are taking money as an American influence peddling operation. They'd be very queasy about it. But they've done some really slimy stuff, and they need to be exposed.
Meanwhile, for the BJP, it was a moment of vindication. And it does not stop at India. The deep state's web of interference spread to Bangladesh too. A jaw-dropping 29 million was earmarked for, quote, strengthening the political landscape in Bangladesh, a country that erupted in political turmoil and allegations of US deep state's involvement in the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The pattern is clear. The deep state's hand has been exposed, but who's pulling the strings and why?
KP Fabian, a former diplomat, joins me live on the broadcast. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to Republic. Thank you for your patience. Now, USAID are funding journalists, that has been proven, and we are also getting to know that this could have also meddled in the Indian voter turnout. Is it time you feel that a government action is needed in the case?
Well, first of all, I think we should get to know more about it, what precisely has happened, and if necessary, action should be taken. At the same time, I would say that to equate USAID with CIA is not exactly correct, because USAID does a lot of humanitarian work, not only in India but across the globe. And because of the that 90-day pause millions of human beings are suffering. We should not forget that.
Right. Kibi Fabian, thank you very much for speaking to Republic and sharing your views on that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap on this edition of 6 Stories at 6, the 6 agenda-setting stories that we brought to you. It's time for us to slip into a short break, but stay tuned. We will be back tomorrow, same time, with more agenda-setting news. Thank you for watching.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
American support, President Trump. We have good conversation today. Our first meeting, not last, I'm sure, and really what we need to speak more, to work more, and to prepare the plan how to stop Putin and finish the war. We want peace very much, but we need real security guarantees, and we will continue our meetings and our work, and we will be very happy to see General Kalak also in Ukraine in this closest time.
Мирна угода не може бути підписана в Мюнхені. Ну, тому що це Мюнхен. І тут немає президента. І тут ми пам'ятаємо, які речі були підписані колись. І тому мирна угода може бути тільки план про закінчення війни, який передусім повинен бути проговорений і підтриманий між Україною, президентом, і Сполученими Штатами, виключно президентом. Також обов'язково треба важлива роль для країн Європи, тому що ми говоримо про гарантії безпеки як головний момент в будь-якому документі про припинення війни або закінчення війни, гарантії безпеки для України, для всієї Європи, і Україна є частиною.
कुछ समय के लिए वहाँ पर यात्रियों की संख्या काफ़ी अधिक हो गई थी और जिसके चलते वहाँ पर भीड़ अधिक हो गई।
कई जगह ये बात आ रही है कि कोई ट्रेन कैंसिल की गई थी, कोई भी ट्रेन ना कैंसिल की गई थी, ना ही किसी गाड़ी का प्लेटफॉर्म बदला गया था।
Welcome, you're watching Live and Breaking at 6:30 p.m. I am Tanisha Avasti. Our top focus remains on the stampede that happened at New Delhi railway station yesterday. Questions now arising over who is responsible for the negligence. If in case this was a negligence or a surge, we have the biggest reporting team on ground. We'll get you all that and much more. But first, the headlines. 18 killed in stampede at New Delhi railway station on Saturday evening. Railway orders a high-level inquiry. Sources say yesterday, wrong announcement was made that led to the confusion and chaos at the railway station.
प्रयागराज से गाड़ी आ रही थी 16 पे और 14 नंबर पे प्रयागराज जाने वाली गाड़ी का अनाउंस हुआ था। उसी में लोगों को समझ में नहीं आया, इधर से उधर भागे। अब प्रशासन कितना संभालेगा।
Key eyewitness in the case speaks to Republic, says the chaos was caused after the announcement. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav meets Home Minister Amit Shah, briefs him about the situation that happened yesterday at the railway station.
एकदम लापरवाही है कांग्रेस के, रेल मंत्री को इस्तीफा करना चाहिए।
Politics ensues over Stampede case. Opposition blames government for the negligence. RJD chief Lalu Yadav demands Ashwini Vaishnav's resignation, calls Mahakum useless. And we cut across to breaking news that's coming in, where we learn that there is a big update in the Delhi government formation, where according to sources, the BJP Delhi Legislative Party meeting will be held tomorrow, and this will be in regard to decide the chief ministerial face of the Delhi government. Remember, the BJP had swept Delhi, defeating the Aam Aadmi Party. After nearly 12 years, the BJP had come back to power after 27 years in the national capital. Riyanka, my colleague, joins me live on the broadcast on that. Riyanka, now since the Prime Minister is back from the United States, the BJP is going to hold a key legislative meeting tomorrow. Who are the front runners for the Delhi chief ministerial candidate?
Yes, that is the breaking development coming in and that we are tracking on Republic, that tomorrow is the day when it is likely that the chief minister of the national capital from the BJP is likely to be selected, because the BJP has called in a meeting of the legislative party which will be held at around 3 p.m. at the Delhi BJP state office, and all those winning candidates, the 48 winning candidates of the BJP will be present in this very meeting. Earlier we had information that around 15 names were shortlisted from those who have in fact won the elections, the candidates who have won the elections. 15 names have been shortlisted from them, and then another 11 names, and then finally in the meeting there will be discussions and deliberations on who will become the chief minister of the national capital. Remember, the BJP had swept the polls, destroying the Aam Aadmi Party's rule in the national capital for the last 10 years. So all eyes are going to be on this very important meeting that takes place tomorrow at 3 p.m. As of now, when we talk about front runners, there are several BJP leaders who in fact were looked at to be the front runners, including Parvesh Verma, who defeated Arvind Kejriwal from the New Delhi constituency, and other leaders as well. But we have to wait and see what happens next, what decision comes in, because at 3 p.m. there will be this meeting tomorrow with the top BJP leadership. There was a wait of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to return from his foreign tour from France and the United States, and which is why this meeting has been called tomorrow. So we will be very closely tracking all the details tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Absolutely, Riyanka. Stay with me because we are getting in more breaking news, and this is also in regard with the Delhi government formation. We are learning that sources say that there will be one chief minister and two deputy chief minister in Delhi. That is what the sources are telling us, an inside scoop on the Delhi government formation, where we learn that the deputy CM will be a Purvanchali face. One of the deputy CM out of the two will be a Purvanchali face, and one will be a local Delhiite representing the villages and rural Delhi. Swearing in is expected on Tuesday afternoon, that is 18th of February. That's the big breaking news that's coming in. This is in regard with the Delhi government formation. Information there on your screen right now, where sources say that there will be one chief minister and two deputy chief ministers for the national capital from the BJP. Deputy chief minister, one of the deputy chief minister will be a Purvanchali face and one other will be a local Delhiite. We also learned that the swearing in is expected on Tuesday afternoon, that is 18th of February. Riyanka, my colleague, joins me live on that. Riyanka, please share more details about the same.
Yes, further details coming in. On the other hand, as you rightly mentioned, that we have understood that there will be two deputies that will be, appointed for the Chief Minister of the National Capital. There will be two Deputy Chief Ministers and one Chief Minister, and one of the faces are likely going to be a Purvanchali and the other a local Delite. Now, we know that there have been a lot of push for a Purvanchali face, even for a Chief Minister's role. In fact, there are talks that it might be a woman leader as well. So there, because most of the people who have voted were women. But on the other hand, it all lies with the discussions and deliberations that take place today. And also, it is quite likely that the swearing-in ceremony could be done as early as on the 18th itself, which is Tuesday, which is day after tomorrow. But everything will be clear once this crucial meeting that is slated to take place tomorrow happens at around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, where all the winning candidates along with the top leadership of the BJP will be present, and they will be discussing and deliberating, and then one name will be elected and two deputies, likelihood of a Purvanchali and a local Delhiite.
Right, Priyanka, thank you for sharing all those details. Well, stay with me because I'm getting in more breaking news, but this is in regard with the Stampede case that happened last night, where we learned that for the convenience of the rail passengers and to clear extra rush during Mahakumbh Mela, Railways has decided to run 4 Mahakumbh special trains. Now, the action comes after the Stampede that broke out last evening at around 10 p.m. last night at around 10 p.m. where nearly 18 people lost their lives and 11 have been injured. Now, in an action that has been taken by the railways, we learned that they have decided to run 4 special trains for Mahakumbh that will be taking the devotees to Prayagraj. This is in regard with the Stampede case that happened. This is the decision has been taken to avoid huge rush of devotees, which ultimately yesterday had led to the Stampede. Joining me live on the broadcast is Akhil, my colleague who's reporting live from the New Delhi railway station. Akhil, there are 4 special trains that have been introduced. The railways have swung into action, but is the action too little too late?
Yeah, absolutely. We can say that at this point in time because of 4 trains, additional trains, special trains have been added into this bogie. Earlier, what we have seen that there were 2 trains which were supposed to arrive at that point in time when that incident took place. And due to the miscommunication, what we have seen that this incident took place. And today, what we have learned from our sources that we have actually accessed.
Additionally, a perusal of his social media actively included exhaustive commentary on India's internal affairs and parliamentary matters, raising serious concerns on the said individual intention to compromise and damage India's interest. Closer examination of information from public domain revealed that Sri Ali Sheikh is an influential individual with pervasive roots in the government of Pakistan and its leadership, having even represented the Islamic Republic of Pakistan in the international forum. It has been brought to the attention of the Assam cabinet via publicly available information that Sri Ali Sheikh has even served the government of Pakistan in several advisory positions and via committees constituted by Prime Minister of Pakistan. In the light of these facts and given the historical attempts of Pakistani state and non-state actors to destabilize Assam, the government of Assam takes Mr. Ali Sheikh's attempt to interfere in the domestic matters of the state of Assam and the Republic of India with utmost seriousness. Following a scrutiny of his social media activity and information available in the public domain, it appears that Mr. Ali Sheikh has been in contact with Srimati Elizabeth Gogoi, a British national, and the wife of Honourable Member of Parliament from Assam, Sri Gaurav Gogoi. Apart from his engagement with the government of Pakistan, Mr. Ali Sheikh has also founded Lead Pakistan, a non-profit organization working in the field of climate change. Srimati Elizabeth Gogoi, a British national, was an integral part of lead Pakistan during her time spent in Islamabad. Furthermore, both Mr. Ali Sheikh and Srimati Elizabeth Gogoi, a British national, have been a part of global climate action group called the Climate and Development Knowledge Network, which operates both in India and Pakistan. The Assam cabinet notes its concern regarding the explicit involvement of a Pakistani-based leader and the other actor of a climate action group in the matters concerning India's internal affairs, thereby raising serious questions on its actual intent and operations. Given the broader national security implication of this issue, particularly in Assam, the Assam cabinet has directed the Director General of Police, Assam, to register a case against Sri Ali Sheikh under appropriate provisions of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita and other relevant laws. Additionally, the Assam cabinet directs an extensive inquiry to be conducted to ascertain whether these activities are part of a larger conspiracy and to identify any sympathizer or associate within Assam and across India who may be aiding Mr. Sheikh's anti-India agenda. The inquiry may investigate the width and depth of Mr. Ali Sheikh network within the state of Assam and across India. Examine individuals, organizations and accomplices based in Assam and rest of India who have aided and abetted Mr. Ali Sheikh's action against India. 6. Relevant assistance and information from concerned agencies and departments of the Government of India and Government of Assam in the course of the above mentioned investigation. The Assam cabinet expects this matter to be pursued with utmost seriousness in the interest of India's security and sovereignty. The Assam cabinet notes that the state of Assam has historically remained a hotspot of ISI-sponsored activities, necessitating heightened vigilance and decisive actions. গতিকে কেবিনেটে এই সম্পৰ্কত কেছ এটা ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিব। আমি আশা কৰোঁ যে অসমৰ সংসদৰ পত্নী হিচাপে যদিও শ্ৰীমতী এলিজাবেথ গগৈ এগৰাকী ব্ৰিটিছ নাগৰিক, তথাপিতো অসমৰ এগৰাকী সংসদৰ পত্নী হিচাপে তেওঁ এই ইনকুৱাৰীত কোপাৰেশ্যন কৰিব, সহযোগিতা কৰিব, নিজৰ পাছপোৰ্ট, ভিছা, ট্ৰেভেল ডকুমেণ্টছ আমাৰ লগত শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিব আৰু গৌৰৱ গগৈ ডাঙৰীয়াই সংসদত ভাৰতৰ নিৰাপত্তা, বিশেষকৈ নিউক্লিয়াৰ ৱাৰহেডৰ ওপৰত তেখেতে উত্থাপন কৰা প্ৰশ্নসমূহৰ লগত প্ৰত্যক্ষ পৰোক্ষভাৱে কিবা যোগসূত্ৰ আছে নেকি, সেই সম্পৰ্কেও অসম আৰক্ষীয়ে যদি সংসদগৰাকীক কথা পাতিব বিচাৰে, আমি আশা কৰোঁ সংসদগৰাকীয়ে নিশ্চয় অসম আৰক্ষীক সহযোগিতা কৰিব।
All right, Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, upping the ante against Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi and his alleged links to Pakistan. The Assam government has now ordered for a probe into the Gogoi-Pakistan link. He says, and I quote, in recent days, multiple reports surfaced regarding certain comments made by Ali Tokir Sheikh on internal affairs and parliamentary affairs and involvement in Assam. It appears that Sheikh had been in contact with Elizabeth Gogoi, a British national and a wife of MP from Assam, Gaurav Gogoi. Meanwhile, the Congress MP, Gaurav Gogoi, has also responded to the charges pressed onto him. Let's listen into what Gaurav Gogoi had to say.
12 months from now, there will be elections in Assam. The BJP government have no performance to show. They are unable to fulfill any of their promises, and in order to hide their failures, they are embarking upon a mischievous and malicious, baseless, factless, slanderous campaign, and we will definitely be taking the appropriate action. At the same time, I have full faith in the wisdom of the people of Assam that they can see through this obvious slander campaign.
All right, it's time for us to slip on a short break, but after the break, we'll get you all the details of the Gogoi versus Imanta showdown over the alleged link of the Congress MP with Pakistan, all that and much more after a break.
Team India is all set to embark on a special journey yet again, the journey of reclaiming the coveted Champions Trophy. It has been almost 12 years since India last won the Champions Trophy, and they'd like to replicate this heroic feat once again. India recently defeated England by a margin of 3-0 and set the tone perfectly, which can lead the men in blue toward a victorious campaign. But how easy or tough is it going to be? How settled is the Indian side, and are all the combinations working? This is something that needs to be spoken about. Ace pacer Jasprit Bumrah will be out of action for Team India, and that is a huge setback. Bumrah played a huge role in India winning the T20 World Cup last year, and skipper Rohit Sharma will dearly miss his services. India will expect that youngsters such as Arshdeep Singh and Harshit Rana step up in order to solve India's bowling woes. India's bowling department performed exceptionally well during the recent India vs England series, but the conditions in Dubai will be far more different than what the Indian bowlers got in their own backyard. The wickets in Dubai tend to be slow and might end up helping the spinners. This will be a major challenge for Gautam Gambhir and the entire think tank. Will they go with 2 spinners and choose to remain pace heavy? Or do they have any other ideas in mind? India have a pretty decent enough pace bowler in the form of Hardik Pandya. An all-rounder like Hardik Pandya doesn't come up every day. The Mumbai Indian skipper is equally good and effective both with the bat and the ball, and can strike at regular intervals. India can also field 3 spinners including the likes of Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel and Varun Chakravarti. But where does it leave Kuldeep Yadav? When compared with Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep Yadav tends to be a bit more dependable with the bat. But Varun's accuracy is something that has bamboozled English batters on their tour to India, but that might just steam Gambhir and his think tank to pick the Kolkata Knight Riders star ahead of Chinaman Kuldeep Yadav. All eyes will be on Mohammad Shami, who is India's most experienced pacer. It is a complete shootout between Arshdeep and Harshit as India's second seamer. Gautam Gambhir, Rohit Sharma and the coaching staff will have to brainstorm and get clarity on what they expect out of the bowlers, as this will be crucial to their Champions Trophy ambitions.
Quick check of the other stories that we're tracking in Bharat in 5 minutes. A majority of the victims who sustained injuries in the New Delhi railway station stampede have suffered lower limb injuries, while others suffered from bone injuries. As per official sources, the injured admitted to the LNJP hospital in the national capital have been discharged by doctors after primary treatment. A team of 15 doctors are currently taking care of the injured patients.
4 बॉडीज सौंप दी गई. एक बॉडी में थोड़ा इशू था, तो उनके हस्बैंड शायद आने में थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा था. तो ये होता है कि हस्बैंड के आने के बाद ही पोस्टमार्टम होता है. तो होपफुली आगे होंगे तो उनके आने के बाद पोस्टमार्टम होके एंड देन फिर उनको भी सौंप दिया जाएगा.
At least 4 people lost their lives and several others were injured in a tragic accident involving a bus and a tempo traveller on the Purvanchal Express today morning. According to officials, the bus, which was en route Ayodhya from Chhattisgarh, had broken down and was undergoing repairs when the accident occurred. A tempo traveller also heading towards Ayodhya rammed into the stationary bus at high speed. A US military aircraft carrying 116 illegal Indian immigrants landed at the Amritsar International Airport late Saturday night, with one deportee claiming they were handcuffed with their legs chained during the journey. The C-17 aircraft, which landed at the airport around 11:35 p.m. on Saturday, was the second batch of Indians to be deported by the Donald Trump administration. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat stressed the importance of embracing the world's diversity, saying that the Hindu society believes that unity itself embodies diversity. Addressing an RSS program at SAI ground in Bardhaman, Bhagwat reiterated the need for unity within the Hindu society, remarking that even in good times, challenges will exist.
हम आजकल कहते विविधता में एकता, लेकिन हिंदू इसको जानता है, इसलिए जानता है कि वो ये समझता है कि ये एकता की ही विविधताएं हैं, विशिष्टताएं, एकता का श्रृंगार है, और इसलिए अपनी अपनी विशिष्टता पर श्रद्धा पूर्वक चलो, सबकी विशिष्टताओं का सम्मान करो.
Military exercise titled Jal Thal Raksha 2025 along the coastline in Dwarka. The exercise seeks to strengthen coastal security along western coast of Gujarat. The maritime exercise serves as a demonstration of India's unwavering commitment to strengthening its maritime security and coastal defense mechanism through the consolidated efforts of the Indian Army and the Indian Navy. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma welcomed Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi's planned legal action over the controversy surrounding his British wife Elizabeth Colburn and said that the state government is also initiating legal proceedings. The Mumbai Police Economic Offences Wing has arrested another accused in the rupees 122 crore New India Cooperative Bank scam case a day after former General Manager Hitesh Mehta was arrested. The arrested developer has been identified as Dharmesh Pawn. According to the investigation, Dharmesh had taken rupees 70 crore out of the 22 crore embezzled in this case. Security forces have arrested 11 militants from Manipur in the last 2 days, including 7 suspected cadres of the Kuki National Army. Along with arms and ammunition, the KNA cadres were apprehended from Old Khaukal area on Friday, according to sources. And it's time for us to slip into a short break, but after the break, we'll get you all the details of what actually led to the stampede at New Delhi railway station last evening, which resulted in tragic death of 18 people. All that and much more after a break.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.